Welcome to the Texas Consilium Show. I'm Michael Yorba, Chairman of Advanced Funds, and my guest today is H. Ross Perot Jr. He is the Chairman of the Perot Companies in Hillwood. All right, Ross, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Michael, thank you. I enjoy this new world that we're in. You get to Zoom.
Exactly. All right, well, congratulations on your nomination for the Texas Consilium Business Excellence Award. And thank you for taking the time to do this interview with us.
Glad to.
All right, before we get started, tell us something about yourself and your business that we all need to know.
Well, I'm a Texan. I grew up in Dallas. And so if you look at our business today, we operate around the world, but at the end of the day, we still are a Texas company, Texas roots and Texas values. And our biggest projects are still in the state of Texas. So we are as an investment banker told me one day, he goes, "You are long Texas." And I said, well, we are long Texas. We've got about 28,000 acres in the state. We're developing all through the state, and we're great believers in our state and the future of Texas.
Beautiful. Your vision for your business into the future, give us, say, 5 years. Where do you want your business to be?
Hillwood is 30 years old, and we're very entrepreneurial, and we're starting new companies on a regular basis underneath the Hillwood umbrella. And so where we'll be in 5 or 10 years is very difficult to know because, again, being entrepreneurs and being very flexible, it depends on what the markets do. And so as I told our team last week, I said, let's go back to where we were in 08 and 09. And let's go back to the challenges we had. And Hillwood today is probably 3 times larger than it was in 08 and 09. I said, so coming out of that crisis, we have a tendency to get stronger. And we become better at what we do. We become more focused on what we do. But also, if you're prepared and you've taken good care of your team and your team is ready to go, you should be the first ones out when the recovery begins. And so if you look at Hillwood, I mean, we built in 08, we were building about 8 million square feet. We built nothing in 9, nothing in 10. So it'd be completely zero in the construction team. Then in 11, we broke ground on the first building in North Texas, a 1 million square foot building for Kohl's. And so we kept our team, we were ready. And since we hung on to our team, including our construction team, and I told the team, I said, look, I don't care what you do. Break even, just stay busy. So we had a heavy industrial team that went out and built gas stations, churches, convenience stores. I said, whatever you need to do, stay busy. And try to break even. They didn't quite break even, but we hung on to them. We kept that experience. So when it was time to build again, we didn't have to regroup. We were ready. And so if you look at this crisis, I said the same thing. We're back into another crisis. So we've all been together a long time. We've been through 3 or 4 of these economic cycles, hard economic cycles. Each time we go into it and we come out stronger. And so in 5 years, we develop across the United States today. 10 years ago, Hillwood was we're in 2 or 3 markets. We now go coast to coast. We're now in the UK, we're in Poland, and we're in Germany. And we currently are building about 20 million square feet. And even in this crisis, Michael, we're still building. We're considered an essential industry. And I've told our teams, I said, keep building, keep our workers busy. We want to have good, productive activity for all the thousands of people working on our projects, because that's what the country needs now. And we're going to have, in 12 months when these buildings are done, we're going to have product on the ground, ready to go, and probably out in front of our competitors. If you look at what we went through just this morning, the banks are really starting to slow down on construction lending. And so you're going to start to see this industry come not to a halt, but really slow down because the banks aren't going to support this industry. But we've got all these things queued up. We're going to get them finished. We should have a head start. So our goal in 5 years, short term, in a year or so, product on the ground, teams healthy, teams ready to go. I call this a pit stop. I said, look, it's time to come in. We've been racing hard for 10 to 11 years. Come in, change the tires, get some fuel, rest up a little bit. But when we're back on that track, we should be the first people out on the track. So 5 years, we'll continue to build warehouses. That's our core competency. I'm sure we'll pick up more countries and more markets around the world. Our residential teams will continue to do master plan developments across the country. And if history is a guide, when we go through a difficult phase like this, Michael, we'll pick up more projects. And we're reaching out to all of our partners. Again, calls and conferences we had just this morning. We're checking on our partners and seeing if any of our partners need help. We hope they come to us first so we can help them with their project and help partners out, but also continue to grow the Hillwood footprint. And that's in real estate. We're in the airline business, the landscaping business, the oil and gas business, lots of different industries that we're in. In our venture capital group, I think we'll have a great chance also to come out, find great entrepreneurs that don't have access to funds. We could be there to take care of them.
Brilliant. All right, that is a great answer to my question. Now, you almost answered the next question, but let's drill down just a little bit more to your core message. What makes your business so special?
We're like every business. What makes it special are the people. It's the men and women of Hillwood. And I don't care what business we're in, if we have the right team and the right people, the right culture, the right philosophy, we're going to do well. And that's why when times are tough, the number one focus is take care of the team. And that's why when this virus hit, the first thing we did is we started standing up our own internal medical teams to take care of our team. So we went out and we picked up 3 nurses. They're now full-time with full-time retainer at Hillwood, so that if anybody on our team needed medical care immediately, we had nurses they could call. Then behind our nurses, we put a layer of doctors. So if you didn't have your own doctor, you could go to Hillwood, check with the nurses, get to the doctors, and then we started putting together testing ability. So if anybody was sick or thought they had the virus, we could get them tested fairly quickly. And that applied to their families too. So it's the core associate, but also the spouse and the children. And we feel like if we take great care of our team and this big Hillwood family, and Michael, we're private. And I think when you're a private company, a family-owned business, it's a different culture than if we were public. But even when we ran public companies and ran Perot systems, we still had our private philosophy that we had to take great care of the team. And when we were public, if we missed a couple of quarters earnings because we were taking care of the team, I didn't care. I want to take great care of the team because long term, you take care of the team will take care of the client, and the team will take great care of the community. And those are the Hillwood values.
Well put. Now, the Texas Consilium Awards based on business excellence. So the criteria encompass customer satisfaction, operational excellence, employee satisfaction, and business performance, and more. Describe how your company exemplifies excellence.
I believe the thing we do the best is take great care of our team. And as I mentioned earlier, if you take great care of your team and you hire the right people, they will take great care of our clients. And we are a very decentralized operation. And so if our teammates need to take care of a client, they've got the authority to take care of that client right away. And so with our clients and our partners, if they need something, we really try to lean towards yes. We will figure out a way to get it done for them, a way to make it work. And we do lots of e-commerce today. And we have the largest e-commerce clients. And we're building these 1 million square foot, extraordinarily complicated buildings, coast to coast for the e-commerce world. They're very demanding. They're very tough. Normally the schedule is demanding when we agree to it. But many times with our clients, they come to us and they go, look, we need the building 60 days earlier. Can you speed this project up and get it done within 60 days? Since we have our own embedded construction team, Michael, we can go out to our team and say, look, 7/24, whatever it takes, let's figure out a way to get this building done. That's the excellence that we can provide because we take wonderful care of that team. Now, compensation follows very quickly when people throw a Hail Mary like that. But also, we have great celebrations to celebrate their success and to celebrate their success of taking care of our client. And because we can operate that way, Michael, these big customers continue to come to us. Now they come to us just saying, look, we want you to build it, because our construction managers know their construction managers. And they've now done so many projects together that they're in the field together. And we also, being private, we can do change orders in the field on a handshake. And the paperwork can catch up later because we trust the client. And so this kind of personal relationship focused on taking care of them, building excellent buildings on time, under budget. In our world, that guarantees you more business. And that's what, but Michael, that's what we love to do. I mean, that we love to take care of our clients and perform like that across the country. And then, Michael, look at what we do for a community. We bring jobs to a community and we bring taxes to a community. We build one of these big e-commerce buildings that's 2,000 to 3,000 people dropping into a community in a modern facility paying taxes. And so everywhere we go across the nation, and what's great about e-commerce today, and what I really love, is we're doing more and more brownfield redevelopment. We're going into Detroit on old factory sites, tearing up an old factory and building modern buildings in neighborhoods that haven't had jobs for decades. And that's the positive part of this business, one of the many.
Very inspirational. Our goals are aligned, and the methods that I'm employing, you really reinforce that I'm doing the right thing. But I just want to say, very inspirational. Now, if you're speaking to an audience of Texas business leaders, you've come across lessons in your journey. What message would you like to give to them of things that you've learned for other people to follow in your footsteps and create the same type of excellence that you've been able to give to the rest of the people that you touch and you work with throughout your daily life?
Michael, always take great care of your team, take great care of the client, as I mentioned, but also think long term. You want a client for life. You don't want a client for a year. You don't want to nickel and dime a client for short-term gain and lose a long-term relationship. And so with our client, and then when times are tough, like now, this is when your clients are important, but our vendors are just as important as the client, because we can't perform for our large clients if we don't have a great team of subs that help us build these buildings. Well, these are the days our subs start to get in trouble. And if you go through the last recession, and even today, we'll have some of our subcontractors call up and say, look, I can't make payroll. Will you pay me early so I can make payroll? We've had many subcontractors walk into our office on a Friday morning. We give them a check so they can pay payroll on Friday afternoon. Well, when you have that relationship with your subcontractor, when times are bad, we take great care of them. But when times are good and lots of developers want them, Hillwood is still number one on their account list. And they will always come and take care of us when we need it. So long term, it's that excellence in building these relationships. That's what makes business fun. And that's what's enjoyable about it. But also it's the right thing to do, and it works.
Well put. All right, last question. Social responsibility. I understand that you're pervasive in this area. Give us some examples of what you're doing to give back into the community. You've already mentioned that a couple of times in the conversation, but I'm going to give you a platform to drill down into what you're doing with the community.
I mentioned earlier, we're very decentralized. And so every business head has their own community program, and they go out and do it on their own. And what I do ask is, hey, sooner or later, tell me what you're doing, because I like to see what we're doing. So some of the big things that we've done, the food bank. Think how important the food bank is for North Texas today. My Aunt Betty founded the food bank about 45 years ago in North Texas. And my sister Catherine is now on the board of the food bank. It was chair of the food bank. We own the first food bank building in town, and we leased it back to the food bank for $1 a year. Well, now the food bank started to grow. Our Hillwood team came in, worked with the food bank, and we're the ones that actually built the new food bank for the food bank in North Texas. We do homes for heroes in our residential projects. We build many homes for heroes and bring our veterans into our communities. Is one thing we like to do. And then in our airline, we have done charity projects all over the world. When Ebola broke out in Africa, we were the first charter company to go into Africa with the relief equipment on the Ebola. We were the first relief aircraft into Haiti to help with the disaster in Haiti. And we actually brought doctors and medical equipment into Haiti. They had to open the airport up to get our plane in. So we send this plane all over the world doing, in addition to business, it's turned out to be a great charity tool, including in Puerto Rico. After the hurricanes, the Marine Corps said, would you do Toys for Tots over one Christmas? So we ran 2 loads of toys into Puerto Rico to take care of the kids of Puerto Rico so they could have a nice Christmas. So from the medical relief to the food relief, Our teams are out there doing this on a regular basis, Michael. And then all the normal charities that we do, we help all the local charities within our neighborhood and our communities. In California, we help the San Bernardino police. After you had that horrible shooting, our team went in. We actually bought bulletproof vests for all the team in San Bernardino. So it's distributed. Our teams can make the decisions. A big part of our value every day is when we come to work is what we can do for others. And our team is literally helping somebody around the world every day. Our big push right now is in Iraq. And this morning we were working on getting emergency medical equipment into Iraq to help them fight the coronavirus.
Brilliant. That's well worth it. All right. Thank you very much, Ross. I really appreciate that. This concludes the portion of the interview that we're going to use for the public. Thanks for being here.
Michael, thank you. Appreciate it. Very honored.